for you this lesson from Unity of the Keys Spiritual Center. Let's take a moment right now to allow ourselves to become fully present to the right here and the right now. Today we gather in the spirit of unity, where all paths are honored, where inner wisdom is trusted, and where the divine is recognized, not as something distant or exclusive, but as a living presence within us, within all, and around us. Our attention this morning is on peace, not as a concept, not as a wish, not even as a prayer, but as an experience, an inner truth with the power to transform. Peace is one of those words we use often. We wish each other peace. Peace be with you. We hope for peace. We hope for peace in the world. We long for peace in our families, in our relationships, in our own hearts. And yet many people still experience peace as something elusive, something that exists in only short bursts, or something that will come someday when life finally stops being chaotic. The spiritual teachings of unity embrace all those teachings that we embrace, tell us something different, a different story. They tell us that peace is not something we wait for. Peace is something we awaken. It is our natural state. It's the foundation of our being. It's that quiet stream beneath our thoughts and emotions. In the Gospel of John, the 14th chapter and the verse 27, Jesus is speaking to us. So let these words speak to you now. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. And so today, let's explore peace, not as a fragile condition that needs to be protected, but as a powerful presence that yearns to be expressed. Now, sometimes when people hear words like inner peace, they imagine withdrawal. They imagine detaching from the world, unplugging from everything, and retreating into a private bubble. And sometimes we need to do that temporarily. But spiritual peace has nothing to do with avoidance. Authentic peace is so spacious, so strong, so grounded that it allows us to be even more present to life, not less. Peace is what we touch when we move our awareness beneath that stream of our thoughts and emotions. It's the stillness that remains even in the midst of conflict. It's the clarity that shows up when we stop reacting and start truly listening. It is the quiet knowing that everything is unfolding with purpose, even when the surface of life feels uncertain. Peace is not passive. It is creative. It's responsive. Peace is alive. And when we connect with that inner presence, we move from a deeper part of ourselves. We bypass our ego. We become more compassionate listeners, more conscious decision makers, and more courageous truth tellers. Peace does not make us weaker. It does make us wiser. So if we look at the world right now, we see turbulence and political tension, social polarization, environmental upheaval. as well as our own personal stressors. And many people feel overwhelmed and overstimulated and emotionally exhausted. And it's easy to believe that we cannot feel peace until the world around us settles down. But our Unity spiritual path reminds us the world does not give peace, and the world cannot take it away. Outer circumstances can certainly challenge our sense of peace. They can invite our ego, our fear, our anger, our frustration. But inner peace is never determined by those circumstances. It flows from our alignment, our connection with our deepest truth. When the world feels chaotic, peace becomes not just helpful, but essential. And without inner peace, we end up reacting from our ego, from fear, from scarcity, from division, separation. When we cultivate peace, we become instruments of clarity, unity, and healing. The world does not need more people who withdraw from life. The world needs more people who move through life with a centered heart, with peace. And so I share with you this poem by Rabbi Erwin Keller, a poem he wrote in October of 2023, and it's called Taking Sides. Today, I am taking sides. I am taking the side of peace. Peace, which I will not abandon, even when its voice is drowned out by hurt and hatred, bitterness of loss, cries of right and wrong. I am taking the side of peace, whose name has barely been spoken in this winnerless war. I will hold peace in my arms and share my body's breath, lest peace be added to the body count. I will call for de-escalation even when I want nothing more than to get even. I will do it in the service of peace. I will make a clearing in the overgrown thicket of cause and effect, so peace can breathe for a minute and reach for the sky. I do what I must to save the life of peace. I will breathe through tears. I will swallow pride. I will bite my tongue. I will offer love without testing for deservingness. So don't ask me to wave a flag today unless it's a flag of peace. Don't ask me to sing an anthem unless it's a song of peace. Don't ask me to take sides unless it is the side of peace. Let's breathe that in for a moment. How then can we cultivate peace in our lives? One of the simplest and most transformative ways is through the practice of the pause. When life feels overwhelming, pause. When someone pushes your buttons, pause. When your mind races or you feel fear coming up, pause. When you are about to speak words you may regret, pause. And know that this pause is not empty. It is a sacred space. It's the doorway through which peace re-enters our awareness. And in that pause, we breathe deeply and we reconnect with our inner self, our self with a large S. In that pause, we remember that we have a choice. Most of the time, it's not the world itself that robs us of peace. It's the stories we tell ourselves about the world. They shouldn't act that way. This will never get better. They are wrong. Everything depends on me. I know how things should go. Why don't they ask me? They are making a mess of things. That comes from our humanity, our ego judging. It's an arrogance, truly, holding ourselves up as superior and ultimately separate. And then there are the messages, the stories. I'm not doing enough. I'm not enough. Again, that's our ego. That's our wounded ego with deeply ingrained error messages. Now, these stories may feel true when they're in our head, but they are not truth. They are interpretations and judgments and conditional beliefs. When we begin to notice these stories we tell ourselves for what they are, not as reality, but merely as thoughts, we open the space for peace to reveal itself. Peace is not something we create. It's what remains when we let go of, when we release everything that is not peace. Peace awakens when we recognize that life is unfolding moment by moment, and we do not need to control everything. Peace comes when we trust that we can meet life as it comes with the support of something greater than just our personality, that small s of self. And unity teaches that we never separate from the divine presence. Peace is one of the ways that presence expresses itself through us. The world is hungry for peaceful people, not people who avoid conflict, but people who bring clarity and calm and consciousness into conflict. Not people who stay silent to keep the peace, but people who speak truth from a grounded, not wounded heart. You don't have to meditate on a mountain for years to be that kind of person. You simply begin where you are. You pause and breathe when you feel reactive. You pause and listen when you feel defensive. You pause when you feel rushed. And you choose connection over separation. And little by little, you become a beacon of peace. Not because life is easy, but because you are rooted, you are grounded in peace. And know that peace is contagious. People feel it when they're around you. They trust you more, they open up, they relax, they feel safe. And in that space, healing happens. You give them respite with your peace-filled energy. Imagine for a moment what would happen if even a small percentage of people committed to cultivating inner peace. What would happen in our political conversations, in our schools, in our workplace, in our families? What would happen inside us? This is not an impossible dream. This is an inside job. In truth, it is all an inside job. It is all ours to do. Peace spreads through presence, and it grows through intention, and it strengthens with practice, and it multiplies through community. A single candle can light thousands of others without losing its own flame, and peace works the same way. So as we step into this coming week, I invite you to carry a simple practice with you, one that takes less than a minute, but can transform your entire day. Let's do this together now. Place your hand on your heart and take one slow, conscious breath. And say gently to yourself, peace is here. Feel the truth of those words. Feel the peace that is always accessible. And feel the presence that never leaves you. Use this practice whenever you feel overwhelmed or anxious or disconnected, and let peace arise from within you. When we live from peace, we become instruments of healing in a world that so needs it. And remember, peace is already within you, fully, completely, eternally. Today, may we open to it. May we trust it. May we become it. And may we each extend it gently and boldly into our world. And so it is. And so it is.